Good afternoon, Muscle Car Corner here at the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals. And I'm here with Mike on this amazing 69 A12 that was found in a salvage yard. There's a picture of it. And man, I'll tell you what, these boys put some money into this car and got it back. So I'm gonna introduce you to Mike.
Hey, how are you, Brad?
Good, doing so well. I've had so many cars and so many interviews, it's really neat. But I walked by this one and I said, Junkyard Dog. I said, we need to do a story on this one. So Mike, tell me the story on this Junkyard 69 A12.
Will do. There's a little backstory behind this car. This is an A12 69.5 Super Bee. This car I purchased, well, I'll start as a teenager. My father was always into Mopars and got my brother and myself into Mopars.
Nice.
And so as we grew up, we kind of got away from the car scene. As we got older, my dad passed away and my brother and I decided to get back into cars again. So we started back, and this was the first car we got. And I found it on eBay.
Wow.
And it was just the shell.
Gotcha.
But as we were young, we found a car we went to look at with my dad. And instead of purchasing the whole car, we purchased just the six-pack, the air cleaner, and the carburetors.
Really?
Because my dad didn't want to purchase the whole car because it was too expensive. So he purchased just the six-pack and the air cleaner and everything.
You had that in...
So we had it for 30 years on the shelf. And it came off of an A12 car. So that had always sat on the shelf, and we never got to use it. So my brother and I decided to get an A12 car to put it on. And this was the car. And I think we paid like $5,000 for it off of eBay. And
Wow.
so the car was just a disaster. So we got it, and the floor was cut up out of it. We thought it was a 4-speed car. It was all original paint, but it was just in very poor shape.
Yeah.
And so we got it, and it didn't have a fender tag or no interior in it, just the dashboard. And so we were just going to do like a pro street build.
Sure.
So we decided to, keep looking for parts, and we took it to a restore, and they started taking it apart and whatnot. And I put an ad up on the A12 boards, any info for fender tag or build sheet. And about 2 or 3 years later, I get this email from a gentleman with 5 Polaroid pictures, and that was one of them.
Oh, wow.
The second one was a Polaroid picture of this handwritten build sheet and decoded fender tag.
Unreal.
And the gentleman wrote in there that he originally purchased the car from this junkyard where he found it, and he paid the owner to move all these cars to get that car out of it.
Unreal.
And when he purchased it, it had the fender tag and it had the interior in it, but the hood was missing, the engine was missing, transmission was missing, and the Dana was missing. But the owner of the junkyard had written down where he sold and who he sold all those parts to. So when he got the car, he had the owner of the junkyard give him the information, and
Really?
he called and acquired the block, the transmission, the rear end.
Oh my God.
He didn't get the hood because it was already destroyed, but he went and acquired all those parts. And that's when I found out it was an automatic car, because I
That's
originally
neat.
thought it was a 4-speed car.
Yeah.
So he owned the car for a while, never got around to putting it together, went to sell it and never sold it, and he started selling the parts off. So when I got the car, it had sat at like a rental area, and the car was abandoned. And so whoever bought it up, all these Mopars, had to get titles
Sure.
they applied for. And so when I bought the car, all the parts were missing. I bought it with a dashboard, body, no parts.
It had the V code on the VIN.
The only thing I got was the VIN.
Gotcha.
So fender tag was missing and all that. But
you got the information right here to produce a
He
fender
had
tag.
written down all this and had his notebook, sent me the 5 Polaroids with this picture,
Wow.
pictures of the car on the trailer the day he had it, and all this stuff. And so that's how I knew it was. I knew it was a striped Elite because when I got it, it was original paint, and you could see it never had the stripe on it. So there was little stuff, but it had the 4-speed pedals in it, so we thought it was a 4-speed. Had the floor cut out, so you didn't
tunnel
know.
wasn't there
No,
to show.
but it was just cut out, all really messed up and janky.
Wow.
And so we decided to restore it back to what you see here.
Wow.
So muscle car restoration.
And
They did a great job.
Muscle car restoration.
Well, they did the body. My brother, myself, and a gentleman we call Hoppy friend of mine we grew up through high school with. We did the whole drivetrain.
Nice.
John Cossey, high school friend that runs his shop, did the engine. That's a 500 inch stroker.
Is it?
We do everything to make it look like it's NOS. We do have an electronic ignition on it, but we kind of make it look like it's original. You can tell by the vacuum that it's a little, that it's not right. But we try our hardest to make everything look like it's NOS.
Look at the patina on the exhaust.
That's 600 horse.
Ooh,
it's got a John Cope racing transmission in it, billet drum. Lenny at Lenny Converters did the stall converter.
And what converter's in it?
It's a Hemi converter, so it's a stock converter, but you tell him what tires you're going to run, tell him the weight of the car, and he makes you a converter that he suggests that you run for this car. So it's set up for fast racing, but it'll run in the 11s no problem.
Oh, I bet.
So
what cam's in it? Pretty decent cam.
He
bump it up.
They made the cam at Cossey. So
nice.
It like I said, it put out over right around 600 horse.
Wow.
So that was through headers, through the exhaust manifolds. It's definitely not going to be as much.
Yeah.
But we have to run race gas through it because you have to run leaded gas because we don't have the heads done.
Yeah.
So all of our cars, we have some Hemi cars and whatnot.
Oh, do you?
And it's just not worth. We don't put the seats in the heads.
Just run the race fuel. Yeah, we just be done with it.
We don't drive them as much as we should.
So you need race fuel in it so it doesn't go bad.
We just don't drive them as much. But we collect the cars not to sell, and unfortunately they sit a little bit. But my dad loved these cars, and we collect them in because of him.
Well, what I got to take away with this is that your dad was.
He never got to see any of these cars.
He was watching you from up there and saying, boys, this is what I need done. And you got the part of the motor there. You got the body. Let's put this thing together.
When we grew up, we never had a car that was one color as teenagers. They were all primer and whatever. and we beat the crap out of them as teenagers and had a blast with them. My dad always wanted a Hemi car. And so after this car we restored, in remembrance of him, we went out and bought a 66 Hemi Satellite from California.
Nice.
Had Hemi Eddie restore it, and that's how we met Hemi Eddie.
Yep.
And he became a friend now, and he is the greatest.
He is
He does all our cars now, and we met Darren Stanky through this car, and he's became a great friend. And if I can say anything about this hobby, is we've met lifelong friends now, and they're the greatest.
They are.
And we've met some people that, that I can't recommend.
I got you.
To use, but
Hemi Eddie's one of the best.
He's one of the best.
I look at his work; it's impeccable. I've been
our Satellite and our A990 is, Jim Kramer, great gentleman. Jim Drain in Florida, great gentleman. Just I can't tell you how much some of these people have bent over backwards.
You're keeping your dad's passion alive, and that means a lot in the heart, there. The
worst part is, He never got to see these cars. Butch, like we sat and talked to Butch Leal a night ago and just sat and talked to him for an hour or 2 hours. And
he's amazing.
Think about my dad sitting there talking with him.
Well, the old man's smiling down on you saying, boys, you did a good job, and he instilled that in you. And that's good stuff. That's what I take away from this story on this car was a junkyard. But you guys built this for your dad, and that's really good stuff. That's commendable.
And something we always do is they look good. Every one of our cars run as good as they look.
Ah, that's great.
And that's they have to do that.
Yeah.
We just don't want hanger queens.
Oh, I got you.
And when we drive them, we kill them. They go on kill mode. So.
Well, Mike, I tell you what, we're gonna bring this to the nation and let them take a look at this amazing. The paint is really nice on it.
They're all for everybody to enjoy. That's what we do this for.
I got you.
No, open the door up. You can open it. Every one of them closed like it's a brand new car.
It doesn't have that tinny sound for some reason. Most of the Mopars do.
We learned a lot of lessons restoring them. I think we got it pretty down pat now.
The first
one,
regulators and all that stuff.
Yeah,
bounce around.
And we've learned NOS is the way to go.
Yeah.
This reproduction stuff just isn't the way to do it.
And it looks neat with a stripe delete.
Yeah, this is a real stripe delete car.
I like the stripe on them, but you know, looking at it without it, it's pretty dang cool. You know, this color combo too is just it's neat, super neat. I figure I'd just get around it. Well, Mike and Mike's brother.
That's the crew, the Florida crew.
Nice. That is awesome, man. Let me pan in on that. That makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
There you go.
Somewhat.
It is nice to win some awards every once in a while.
Well, you gents, I'm so glad that I got to capture this. I saw Junkyard on it, and I needed to talk about this one and figure out what the deal was with it. So
that's the
matter of
story.
fact, I worked in a junkyard. I was in a body shop business. I started in 76, sanding cars when I was in 9th grade, and stayed in it my whole life. I was a collision tech. I restored a lot of cars myself, and I was a really good painter, as well as a heavy hit guy as well, running dealership body shops, you know. But I spent my whole life in the collision industry and body shop business, you know. And when I look at cars, I got that trained eye.
You know how hard it is to get them like this.
This car, I don't see a flaw one on this thing. It's impeccable.
Well, it makes it worth the while when somebody sees it and can know, like, wow, that's...
And now you're going to have my audience taking a look at this thing.
That's great.
It's going to go around the world. It'll be viral. So you guys need to take a look at my YouTube channel.
We will, for sure.
I will definitely get you guys up on it. I've got a lot of interviews, so I'm just going to take them as they come. It may be a week or so before I get it up.
Okay.
But it will be there. Keep on checking. Y'all subscribe.
We will, for sure.
And I hope I will be here next year. I'm bringing my Charger, so I'm finally going to have a car in this show.
One color, right?
Bob okayed. It's a B5 blue, white interior, RT.
Okay.
Track pack, white interior, blue, black top.
Checking all the boxes.
Beautiful. And matter of fact, Jeff Stunkard wrote the article. It was a Mopar magazine featured car, and he wrote the article on it. So we were destined to meet at some time or another.
Yeah, we know Jeff.
So now we're buddies, and I helped him with his YouTube channel, get it going after he lost his job, and I've been instrumental on getting him rock and rolling with his YouTube channel. So y'all need to check that out as well. Jeff Stunkard's Zookeeper Diary.
Okay.
So check his deal out. It's super cool. He needs subscribers and people. I put his videos up on mine just so everybody I know that's in my realm can help him out on building his on up. So it's all about helping people, and just this game is so cool, and people are so nice, and we're all here for a reason because we love muscle cars, you know. So
for sure. I'm going to make sure we're here next year to check out your ride.
Heck yeah, I'll be here and you'll be here, and we'll get together and maybe go over to Gibson's, have a good steak over there.
We love it.
All right, guys.
All right, we'll see you next year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again.
Muscle Car Corner signing out.